a woman. That woman, she had been burning for 100 years and she'll melt. She was burning for 100 years. If you look at the fire, that liquefied fire, that's like magna from a volcanic eruption. She will melt off, and she was crying with every strength in her and asking God for a second chance. And she would form back again, and she just kept crying and gnashing her teeth. As I was looking at her, it was no longer about what I was looking at. The fire began to ravish me from my head down to my feet. I began to burn and I began to cry and I was screaming with every strength in me. I was begging God for a second chance and I was crying out loud. It was in that place certain scriptures became very tangible to me. When the Bible says there will be gnashing of teeth, I found myself gnashing my teeth. I was crying it and I was screaming and my shouts were loud. If I shout now, the next shout will be louder, but this energy it keeps depleting, but your shouts keep increasing. I was screaming, everybody was screaming, everybody was begging God for another chance. As I was shouting and I was begging God, I remember a few things that occurred there. Some of the things that were traumatic for me were the fact that if you just imagine that everybody was shouting, the noise there was enough, was like bomb blast blasting off your ears. If there was no fire, if there was nothing there, just that noise was enough to burst your earballs, but you wouldn't die. Then imagine you cannot breathe, you hold your nose for 1 hour, you cannot breathe, but you cannot die. It was bad and it was painful. I realized as I was going through all these experiences, I realized the smell, the stench in that place. If there was no fire, if there was nothing else, just that stench was bad enough. And in all this, I realized one of the worst pain that I encountered there was the fact that I knew that I was damned. I knew that it was over. I knew there was no hope. That was the worst trauma of it all. The feeling of hopelessness. When you know that you are doomed. No matter what situation you are, you can actually be sick with your body being rotten. As long as you have life, you have hope. You can actually be in prison, sentenced to death. As long as you have hope. As long as you have life, you have hope. But in that place, I knew beyond every reasonable doubt that it was over. That there was no way out. And I was begging God and I was asking God. I said, God, if you can only give me even 1 second. I'm not asking to come back and live on this earth. Just 1 second to say Jesus is Lord and die back. I was begging God. I said, God, I don't even mind if you give me, if I come back. And I come back and I'm lying down. I don't have hands, I don't have legs. I'm eating shit and drinking piss. And people are stamping on me. Just the opportunity to come back and restore my ways. It's enough for me. He asked me, I told him, Lord, it's not my fault. And he said, you made a choice. And you are here because you made a decision. And I kept begging. Everybody was begging, and everybody is still begging there. One of the scriptures that also became tangible to me, the Bible says, blessed is he that believes. A lot of people want to see before they believe. But if most of them saw, they know that hell is real. They are in the belly of hell, but it's over. They cannot make a choice now because they wanted to see before they believe. I kept crying and I kept begging God, and I was asking God the same way everybody was begging God. I asked God for just 1 second, just 1 second, and he asked me a question. He said, how many seconds are in a minute? How many minutes are in an hour? How many hours are in a day? How many days are in a month? How many months are in a year? How many years have you spent on this earth? Weigh those seconds in those years. With this 1 second, you are asking me, which of them is greater? Why is this 1 second now more important to you than all those years? And I was helpless. And I kept begging. Every other person was begging. I said, God, I preached heaven and hell when I was in secondary school, when I gave my life to Christ. I was one of those students that believed that Jesus is coming now, those radicals. I always knew heaven and hell was real. I preached it, but I never knew it was this real. And I asked him, I said, why is it that this thing is so real, but we live our lives like it doesn't exist? And he said that's the trick of the devil. He blindfolds our minds so that we are busy chasing what is not important. And at the end of it all, we realize what is important, but we do not pay attention to what is important. And I kept begging. Every other person was begging. I realized another scripture that says a living dog is better than a dead lion. As long as you are alive, you can make a choice for where you're going to. But once you close your eyes from this earth, it is over. I asked God as I was crying, I was begging. Everybody was shouting with all their strength, asking for mercy. I asked him, I said, God, I preach this thing. Just give me this opportunity. Let me go back and preach to people. Let me go and share this news with other people, because I don't. He now asked me a question. He said, Jesus, the Son of God, came, but the world did not believe him. He said the book of Revelations was written for the world to read, but they don't read it, let alone believe it. He said many have come back with warnings for the world. He said they don't listen. Why would they listen to you? I said, God, you don't understand. I will come back. I will tell everyone and anyone that has ears that it happened to me. And in seconds that followed, I found myself heading back. We got very close to where the hospital was. And then I woke up in my body. Fear gripped me for some days. I felt the only thing I needed to do was just to lock myself up, just be worshiping God and just worshiping him, so that maybe if I eat I will still sin. By talking I will still sin. So I just wanted to lock myself. And he said, no, I brought you up so that you can come and sound the warning. Few weeks after I was so desperate. I would go about, Jesus is coming. But I was sharing it like somebody that was crazy, like somebody that was mad. But I couldn't tell people that have known me over the years, because I didn't want their reputation. I didn't want them to have a wrong reputation of me. And then one day the Lord told me, he said, for the same reason you died in the first place is the same reason you will die again if you do not go and warn my people. He said, if you love your reputation more than me, you do not deserve me. If you love your life, you will lose it. If you lose it, you will gain it. And I cried to God, and after that day, I received boldness. I found myself in Dominion City, and I received the grace and the boldness to share it. Even though it was a struggle, I received the grace to share it. But one of the things that happened to me, which is why one of the grace that happened to me, one of the last scriptures that became tangible to me, why everybody was begging and crying for God to have mercy on them. They were begging for 1 second. 1 second is tick. 1 minute is tick, 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 60. 1 second. One of the things that became very tangible to me, it says, I have mercy upon whom I have mercy upon. When I died, God gave me a second chance just because of his mercy. Every other person that was burning that day is still burning today. But I'm here by his mercy and by his grace.